Naruto and Sasuke is put up against each other more often than not, but what if we swap their fights? So Naruto fights the enemies of Sasuke and Sasuke fights the enemy of Naruto, where they do better in those given fights. We're going to be figuring that in today's video. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe button. We're on the way to 8,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. Now we're going to be coming from the beginning of Shippuden, and we're going to be touching on pretty much every main fight of each character. Now if it's like a big group fight, like for example when Naruto was fighting Madara in the Shinobi Alliance when he first appeared, like the real actual Madara, and it was the Shinobi Alliance helping Gar, we're not going to use those type of fights because he's getting help from multiple people. It's not just Naruto fighting. It's not really like a main Naruto battle, you know what I mean? It's more like a sense where Gar is helping or doing most of the work. Then you got Inoki that did most of the work as well. So we're not going to touch on really big group battles. Now the first quick battle that we see Naruto get into in the beginning of the series was Naruto versus Itachi, well, the 40% clone that ran into the gang right then and there. We saw that Itachi was able to put Naruto under a instant genjutsu without even looking at him, just using his finger. But we see that heavy Sasuke, when he fought Itachi, was able to see through all the genjutsus that were displayed, and not only that, be able to break out of the Mangekyo Sharingan as well. So we know that Sasuke would pretty much see right through this genjutsu, and seeing even the 40% clone of Itachi will send Sasuke in a rage state that will allow him to be able to go tandem with Kakashi to be able to fight him, because again, if Sasuke was able to take on the full thing and not have to worry about the genjutsu, it shouldn't be no problem since going against a 40% clone of Itachi, because even Kisame said that these clones don't have as much chakra as the main host because they're clones, obviously. Now the next fight up for Sasuke is going to be Deidara versus Naruto with the help of Kakashi. Now we saw that Kakashi was one of the big driving forces of this fight with Deidara, because we know Naruto can't fly or can't reach up to the bird that is Deidara, but through Kakashi's Kamui to be able to get Naruto behind him, they were able to get an attack or at least be able to hit Deidara. Now we know that Sasuke being able to fly and also being there with Kakashi will also pose even more greater attributes and more greater assets to the battle. And not only that, with Sasuke's Sharingan, he'll be able to tell that that wasn't Deidara that slipped away, it was Clay. So you could argue with the Sharingan, he will already know that he's not fighting the real Deidara when Naruto kind of went crazy and start pounding him, and be able to either locate the real Deidara or outright see through what Deidara did and not allow him to be able to do it. But we already just saw what heavy Sasuke by himself was able to do to Deidara, and Deidara here won't have the assistance of the bombs that Toby planted. So yeah, Deidara gets packed up pretty handily here. Going to another Sasuke fight, because just nothing but Naruto fight is going down this road, but we see that Naruto ends up going against the sick Orochimaru, but it wasn't like bed rested Orochimaru. He still was sick. Like at the end of the fight, he was kind of like, you know, his body was pushed to a limit, and then Naruto was in his 4-tails state of the 9-tails. So obviously it would be Sasuke versus this sick Orochimaru. Now we know that Orochimaru bed rested was said by Sasuke himself that he was weakened due to the illness, and we see later way in the war, we see Shizetsu even say that the only reason why he was able to beat Orochimaru was because of that, and was kind of even still worried that a MS Sasuke would probably not be able to do it. And we know that he could, but he still was kind of worried. So that should also take note, because Shizetsu was at the 5 Kage summit and saw how Sasuke was moving. So obviously Orochimaru was definitely more stronger than that bed rested Orochimaru, but I do believe that Sasuke will be able to contend with him. But his big driving force here would be his genjutsu, right? Because you know that his genjutsu was able to pretty much break through the transferring body rituals. Now you could argue that him being best rested, that the ritual was weakened, but I don't really think so, given that Orochimaru dropped out of his regular human body form, went into his full snake transformation form, and that's when they went into the mind zone of Orochimaru's world, where he even said that he controls everything there, and Sasuke was still able to will himself through it with just genjutsu alone. So I do believe that Sasuke's genjutsu will play a big role here, and you definitely could say it'll be in character for Orochimaru to try to steal Sasuke's body here, and if he does that, that puts him at a big disadvantage, because like I just said previously, but if them going for pound, going to get each other fully, we know for a fact that Orochimaru was weaker when he fought Sasuke, and all the statements that support that Orochimaru might have been able to beat him if he wasn't, can give Orochimaru the dub against Sasuke here as well, because he just doesn't compare to a 4-tails Naruto at this point. Naruto having the beast bones, well, the 9-tails having the beast bones, because we know Naruto wasn't in control, and the beast bones being stronger than anything that we see from Sasuke, maybe besides the Karin, but maybe be, right? So it's either really a toss-up, but I'm leaning towards more of Orochimaru. But again, Sasuke's genjutsu, if Orochimaru tried to steal his body, could be his ace in the hole. Now again, another swap of Naruto and Sasuke. We have Sasuke versus Kakuzu. Promise you, the Naruto fights are coming when it comes to Sasuke's enemy. We just don't see him fight nobody for a while. Now when it comes to Sasuke versus Kakuzu, I feel like this is probably more self-explanatory. Not only that, we know that Kakuzu is pretty strong. He's not crazy strong, but we know that, I mean, he's not really known for having speed. And when Naruto showed up, most of his hearts was already taken out. He only had 2 hearts left as well. And this Kakuzu can also be airborne as well, but we know that Sasuke can fly. And he was still able to sneak up on Deidara as well, somebody also who can fly. And Naruto was able to sneak up on Kakuzu. So if Naruto could be able to get the drop on Kakuzu and get behind him, Sasuke definitely be able to, especially with his genjutsu and all those things accompany with it. I think it's a no-brainer that Sasuke will be able to at least destroy the 2 hearts that were left. If he needed to use Karin, maybe, but I doubt it. I feel like with just his base power and speed, being in Curse Mark 2, being able to fly, being able to just to be faster than Kakuzu, I think he'll be able to take it out, because Sasuke still outscales the Naruto that fought Kakuzu, because we could tell that Naruto kind of was like trying to get past his roadblock to kind of reach and catch back up to Sasuke. We have a Naruto fight, Naruto versus the bed-rested Orochimaru. Now one of the biggest things, like I said previously, when Sasuke was going against a lesser sick version, a big part of that battle was because of his Sharingan being able to resist the transferring of bodies, jutsu that Orochimaru uses in his own world. Naruto wouldn't have no combat against that if we assume that Orochimaru would just try to take Naruto's body just to be a placeholder because how sick he was. So if Orochimaru wanted to do that, Naruto literally wouldn't be able to do nothing, because we know that Naruto doesn't have, you know, any genjutsu. Now you could argue that Kurama could stop it from happening or something, but that's just completely headcanon, right? But going off of what we know from Naruto here, he just has the Rasen Shuriken. You could argue that he could hit Orochimaru with it while he's in bed. If he was able to get that off, then he gets the dub. But if he goes into a full-on fight with the snake form of Orochimaru, then I just don't see Naruto being able to win, because we saw that Sasuke needed to go into Curse Mark 2 to be able to fight this snake form of Orochimaru, and then went up going into his psyche of his transformation, body, jutsu, whatever you call it. And then after that, Sasuke used his will to be able to overpower the jutsu with his genjutsu as well. And I just don't see Naruto being able to do that. But again, if Naruto ends up hitting it with the Rasen Shuriken before Orochimaru can expect it, kind of like Sasuke did with his Chidori blade, then I see Naruto being able to catch a dub. But that's a big stretch. So I'm gonna give it to Orochimaru over this Naruto. Now next up we have Naruto versus Deidara. Now this is actually going to be insanely bad for Naruto, right? And on a lot of levels, right? Because we know that Sasuke literally took on Deidara by himself, and we know that Tobi even planted the bombs below, and those bombs will outright probably kill Naruto, or at least hurt him, because we know that Sasuke lost his wing but still was able to fly up from the blast of the bombs. Not only that, Naruto wouldn't have anything to be able to fight Deidara while Deidara's on his C2. So this fight would just completely be the opposite of Naruto. Not only that, he doesn't have wings, or doesn't have a way to get up there to even fight Deidara. He doesn't have the lightning style to even be able to damage the bombs. If Deidara wants to wrap Naruto in a bomb, he wouldn't be able to do nothing about getting out. This fight is literally a complete neg to all things that Naruto can do. With his Rasen Shuriken, he will have to hit Deidara, but while Deidara is on a bird, that just won't be the case. The only thing you could probably throw in there is just Kurama, but I'm not including that in battles like this until he could control it, because it was kind of like, you know, like a spur in the moment thing when Kurama came out. Now you could argue that it could happen, you know, seeing Deidara, the man that took Gaara away or killed Gaara or did whatever they did to Gaara, extracting the Biju. Could argue that Naruto could go into Kurama, but again, that's just headcanon, just assuming that he would. So base Naruto here just loses, honestly. Now I hate that I have to go over this, but we're going into Naruto versus Itachi, bro. Now Rasen Shuriken Naruto versus Itachi. Now one of the good things here about this battle is that Itachi is nearing death, but let's be honest, Naruto's strongest attack wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't even put a dust spot on the Susanoo, because we saw that the Susanoo was able to withstand the Karin, and we know that the Rasen Shuriken is probably more lethal. But either way you slice the pie, we know that Itachi has the Yaramir, he has the Totsuka blade. We know that Naruto wouldn't have no defense against the Amaterasu. This fight would be pretty bad. I mean, soon as Sasuke got there, he was put into a genjutsu and saw through all of it. Naruto wouldn't even know he's inset genjutsu. Like it'd be pretty bad. I'm not even gonna lie. Naruto loses. Now we get into the controversial battles. Now we have a Take Sasuke versus a Pain, and we have a Naruto versus a Killer Bee. Sage Mode Naruto versus the Killer Bee, right? So going over the Sasuke fight first when it comes to Pain Taka. Now one thing that we do have to establish is that this Sasuke is highly weakened because of the fight with Itachi. Not only that, with this Mangekyou Sharingan, he has the flames, but he just doesn't have much control over them. We saw that he didn't even know you could turn them off. Now you could argue that these flames would be a good thing to use in battle, but we have to understand that with the paths of pain, with the Predator path, for example, can just absorb those Amaterasu flames. If he hits any other path of pain other than the path of pain that can summon King of Hell, it really wouldn't matter, because we know that the King of Hell pain could just, you know, keep bringing them back to life or healing their bodies over and over and over. So unless he hits that path of pain first, it wouldn't matter. But you know, that'd be kind of hard to do, knowing that, you know, the Predator path is there. They could just absorb the Amaterasu off of them anyways. Not to mention, you know, the Tendo path, you know, having Almighty Push, having Shinra Tensei, having Planetary Devastation. It would be pretty bad. And even if you say he gets through all the pains and it's just the Tendo path left, Sasuke wouldn't have no attack strong enough to get him out of the Shobaku Tensei, because we know that even Beast Tail Bombs from a Naruto mixed transformation wasn't able to destroy the full thing. It took the 8 Tails transforming part to be able to break out of it. We know Sasuke just doesn't have anything that could do that. So Take Sasuke loses for sure. Now Sage Mode Naruto would definitely do way better against B for sure, and assuming that he has the same help from Suigetsu, Jugo, and Karin, it'd definitely be a case for Naruto doing way better. But I just still think that Killer Bee just would outclass Naruto here. Now you could argue that, you know, Naruto will be able to make B go deeper into his transformations when it comes to his tailed beast, but again, the outcome will still be the same, because I just don't think Naruto will have any attack that could go against the tailed beast bomb from the 8 tails of Killer Bee, and he doesn't have any defense against it as well. You could definitely say that Naruto will be able to go toe to toe with B while B is in his base for sure. I do think that without a shadow of a doubt, but once he starts getting into transformations, that's where to get a little tricky. And we do know that Sage Mode has a 5-minute limit, unless one of the teammates of Naruto like Karin or Jugo is able to be there to summon a clone for Naruto to be able to switch out the chakra, and just Naruto end up running out of Sage Mode, and the fight would be pretty much over right then and there. I just don't see Naruto doing much to B once he starts getting into the transformations, and he doesn't have a Amaterasu to kind of like, you know, neg B. So yeah, Naruto ends up losing in the long run, but him fighting against B in base will definitely be way more closer for sure. Probably to the point where B will probably have to go to his tail B states and start transforming, but once that happens, yeah. So now we have the Sage Mode Naruto versus the Raikage. Now I do think most times Raikage would end up winning this, because we know the driving force why Sasuke was able to really cause damage was because of the Amaterasu, and that's how he would have won. But we saw that Sasuke was able to dodge and move out of the way of the Raikage. Now Naruto, with his sensory abilities from Sage Mode, he possibly could be able to do the same thing similarly. Not saying that he's outright faster, because we never really saw Naruto fight anybody fast as a Raikage besides the third Hokage or third Raikage in the war, but we didn't see him like, you know, go pound for pound with him, or literally like move around with him like how Sasuke was with third Raikage or the fourth Raikage. So it would be kind of tricky to say that Naruto and Sage Mode will be able to move around with them, and if the fourth Raikage ends up activating his V2 cloak where he starts using teleportation, it would be kind of crazy. And even quoted by C, it said that fourth Raikage was moving on par or close to speeds as the yellow flash. So I don't think Naruto will be able to keep up with the Raikage, but you could say that he could be able to dodge some of the Raikage's attacks. Regardless of the matter though, Naruto getting grabbed by the Raikage would almost be a certain dub for him, because we saw that Sasuke was really only saved because of his Susanoo when the Raikage, you know, kind of slammed him. And not only that, we do know again that there was help supporting Sasuke around, but the Raikage pretty much took all of them out. Now again, we do know that Naruto with Sage Mode has a limit. Now in this, you could argue again that Karin or somebody could, you know, summon another clone for Naruto, but we have to keep that limit in mind, because it's not like Naruto can just stay in Sage Mode the whole time he's fighting the Raikage, right? So that will be also another point to add in as well, and not to mention his reinforcements too there with the Raikage also. We saw that Sasuke was able to use Genjutsu on C. That wouldn't happen here because Naruto has no Genjutsu, and also there would be no black flames enter, so it'll be more likely for more people to go in and try to attack Naruto, because there will be no reason to kind of like stay away or guard, or the Raikage wouldn't lose any limbs. He would just have full access to attack Naruto, and we know for a fact the Raikage would be faster than Naruto. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not a debate for anybody to, like, you know, contest. But moving on to Naruto versus the Mizukage, again, Sasuke would really lost that fight, right? You know, the white Zetsus came up and started taking chakra from her, giving it to Sasuke. His Susanoo was literally melting. He was literally about to die, you know what I mean? And then him versus Inoki, again, same thing. Sasuke was literally about to die. Saved by Obito, healed by Karin. I don't see Naruto having no escape from the particle style. I don't see Naruto being able to figure out a way to get out of, you know, getting, you know, literally melted by the acid mist. Now, one thing that I could say that he could do is just summon like a toad maybe, but that'd, like, you know, expand the whole building, break the building, get him out of there. That is a possibility. We seen it doing it all the way in part 1 when he was getting, you know, kind of like almost condensed by Gaara. He summoned Gamabuta. You could argue that's his only big ace in the hole to get out of that situation, but other than that, I don't see Naruto, you know, being able to figure out a way of getting, you know, out of the acid mist, because we saw that with her lava style too as well, was able to shoot it against Sasuke, and he was kind of defenses against that too, because, you know, he had a Susanoo, but he really couldn't do anything against it, and we know Naruto doesn't have anything like that to block that attack. So yeah, he loses. But obviously we're gonna move on to Danzo. Now, the battle against Danzo, I do very well think that Naruto will be able to go toe to toe against Danzo for sure, because I do believe that Sage Mode Naruto outscales Sasuke just regularly without the Susanoo for sure. But it just, you know, Sasuke having the Susanoo and having the Amaterasu and all those abilities that kind of closes the gap. So I do think that Naruto will be able to kill Danzo a couple times, but the one problem is the time limit of the Sage Mode. And not only that, Naruto won't be able to put Danzo under a Genjutsu to kind of trick his mind into thinking that, you know, he has another Sharingan on his arm left. And not only that, we still do know that Danzo does have the Okulto of Matsukami, the eye from Tsuchui, so he could use that on Naruto as well. He was going to use it on Sasuke, but, you know, Sasuke killed him. So yeah, I don't really think that Naruto will really be able to do much against this Danzo, because I do believe that you need to be kind of like, you know, either a Sharingan user to fight Danzo, because, you know, he's using Izanagi, and we know that usually Sharingan users win against Izanagi users. So it's really hard to say that Naruto will pull this dub out, because he just doesn't know enough about the Sharingan, nor does he know enough about Genjutsu to be able to pull it off. And not only that, we do know that Karin would be there to be able to kind of break it down for Naruto and probably maybe relay the message, but that may be too late. We do know that since Danzo wouldn't know how many eyes he does have, he'll probably speed it up and just instantly start using Okulto Matsukami on Naruto. So, because we know that was the main reason that Sasuke was able to kind of catch him off guard, because Danzo didn't know that he had one less eye than he did. So yeah, I don't think Naruto pulls out this dub in the long run, but I do think Naruto would definitely kill Danzo a couple times, of course. I know Sasuke was pretty much out of commission after he got Itachi's eyes implanted to him, and we don't see Sasuke come back and fight into the Itachi versus Kabuto and Sasuke fight. Now, in this fight, we know that right now at this moment, Naruto will be in KCM 2, and we know that KCM 2 was able to, you know, divert literally every Biju bomb from every other tail beast except for Killer B. Not only that, Naruto can make clones near equal to his power, so he can also use that in the fight with Itachi as well. And in that Itachi fight with Kabuto, if you like rewatch or reread it, you could kind of see that Sasuke really didn't do much. Like, yeah, he was helping, you know, Itachi here and there, but Itachi was like trying to defend Sasuke and was the header of, you know, figuring out the plan to beat him and stuff. Sasuke was kind of there for like moral support. So, but with Naruto there, Naruto would be a really big added on help for sure. Like, it would be no problems. He just blatantly outspeeds Kabuto at this point. He has the Kurama avatar as well. Again, he has Kurama fully in cooperation with him as well. So if anything Kabuto want to do like Genjutsu or anything like that, that wouldn't work. It just would be dubs all around. And then Itachi there as well. It would be a walk in the park. So in the beginning of Shippuden, Sasuke would pretty much cream everybody that Naruto fought. Almost everybody, give or take. Yeah, like everybody except for that sick Orochimaru that Four Tails Naruto fought and Pain. But once we get into the ladder, then you can kind of see Naruto kind of like catching up. But Naruto against the 5 Kage Summit would kind of be shaky. But all in all, though, it kind of balances out when Naruto gets to the war. He pretty much creams everybody that Sasuke encounters when he has EMS. And Sasuke really doesn't catch up to Naruto until they get like these Sage of Six Paths amps. But yeah, switching opponents for them would actually be kind of bad for Naruto, and the show would be called Sasuke. But I hope you guys liked and enjoyed the video. If you have any type of things you want to comment about saw that you disagree with, anything like that, drop it down in the comments below. Other than that, love y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe. We out.